I tell you what, I didn't see this coming. Manchester United have agreed a £75 million fee for not Alvaro Morata, but Romelu Lukaku. The BBC are reporting it. Sky Sports are reporting it. Craig Norwood, we all know when Craig Norwood talks, it's happened. Saying that Lukaku to Manchester United is done. Now this has all happened in the space of last night. The stories really started to come out. Came out in the press from Matt Lawton in the Daily Mail, said that Man United were after Lukaku. And then the Mirror came out and said that Paul Stretford had met Everton chairman Bill Kenwright and said that this Rooney to Everton situation had opened up a conversation that maybe Lukaku can be used in the other direction and that Rooney was a make-weight in that transfer. Well, it looks like something has certainly happened. Whether or not Wayne Rooney goes to Everton is irrelevant now, because Lukaku to Manchester United is effectively done. I really did not see this coming, because obviously all summer long Lukaku had been a target, but in the last couple of weeks it was all about Alvaro Morata. Real Madrid tried to play hardball with Man United by rejecting bids of 60 million, 65 million, then 75 million euros. Look what's happened to this now. Now this is the fault of Real Madrid trying to play hardball for a player they didn't want to sell, but Man United and Jose Mourinho have now immediately gone elsewhere and signed Romelu Lukaku. Now what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. For me, I've made it abundantly clear that I would have preferred to sign Morata over Lukaku. But you cannot turn your nose up at a striker that scored 25 goals in the Premier League last season, has scored over 80 Premier League goals by the time he is 23. Lukaku, ever since he's come to the Premier League, has been a goal machine. And I'm sure he will hopefully be a goal machine at Manchester United. I don't think he's got as much of an all-round game as Alvaro Morata does. But that's slightly irrelevant now. Maybe let's just stop talking about Morata. Is there a chance, do you think, that we could sign Morata and Lukaku? I'm not too sure about that. To put out 75 million on Lukaku and then put out another 75 million on Morata, that's 150 million on two strikers. Yes, we're letting go of Rooney, and Ibrahimovic has already left, but that's a lot of wedge. Let's read a few of your comments first and foremost here. Sounds like a desperate buy, says Mind Your Surroundings. I think it's not desperate, guys. Come on. We're still 2 months away before the end of the transfer window closes. It's just that it seems like United have been so pissed off with Real Madrid's hardball negotiations that they turned their attention elsewhere, somewhere far closer to home. Someone like Lukaku, who is Premier League proven and was only beaten in the goal scoring charts by Harry Kane last year. You know, Lukaku, he can clearly add a lot to this Manchester United team. From what I've seen of Lukaku, and let's be honest, the only time you ever really watch a player of an opposition team is when they play against Man United. In those matches, Lukaku has never really impressed me. But clearly he's doing something right if he's scoring 25 goals in the Premier League. Corey Gunn's asking about the Morata bid being dead. That's a suggestion. The suggestion here is coming out from Manchester Evening News, BBC, Sky Sports, all the major outlets in the press in the UK, that Man United have, instead of now going for Morata, they're going for Lukaku, and they have got Lukaku. And this is down to Real Madrid's negotiations. This is down, have Real Madrid accepted a bid for Lukaku, what was it, 65 million? We'd already have, sorry, not for Lukaku, for Morata. We'd already have Morata at the club, and Lukaku probably wouldn't be joining. But instead, because Real Madrid have played such hardball negotiations, Man United have gone, you know what, sod this. We're going to sign Lukaku instead. You know, he was supposed to be going to Chelsea, and I'm sure he would have done a fantastic job for Antonio Conte. But it looks like Lukaku's going to be our new number 9. Let's read a few more of your comments out here. I'd take a Premier League proven striker over an amazing prospect to lead our lines, especially with Rooney and Ibrahimovic going. That says Deepanka. Now, that is the real positive about any deal for Lukaku. The guy has been scoring goals in the Premier League for a number of years now. And he's still only, what, 23, 24? As I said, over 80 Premier League goals. So if you look at Harry Kane and Lukaku, there's two genuine prospects there who have the ability to match what Alan Shearer did and became the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer. In the current rates they're going, they'll reach it by the time they're 34, 35. And that is something that you cannot underestimate how important it is for a player to be Premier League proven and what sort of difference that will make in the first 2 to 4 to 6 months of his career at United, because if Morata came over, he'd have to adapt to a new town in Manchester, a new country, a new language. Him and his wife would have to come over here, newly married, would have to move and leave Spain, come to a league he's never played in. Yes, he was clinical in La Liga, and yes, he was better than Ronaldo in terms of a goals per minute ratio, but Lukaku is only across the road in Merseyside, coming over here, and then Man United had then got themselves a striker who knows what it takes to play in the Premier League. Remember, Lukaku scored a hat-trick against us in Fergie's last ever game when he was at West Brom on loan. I'm happy. You can't not be happy with signing Lukaku. I think it's more the fact that Man United have been doing so much in going after Morata that everybody expected it to be Morata, and that was something that the press had fed us. But now that we've got Lukaku, maybe there's going to be some people that are unhappy that Morata's not coming through, but you cannot be upset, surely, ladies and gents, at the fact that we're signing someone like Lukaku. Let's read a few more of your comments out here. BBC confirm it there, the only reliable source, says Kenny. Well, BBC have confirmed it. BBC have said that we have agreed a 75 million bid, so 75 million move for Lukaku. Mohamed saying he's terrible with his first touch and won't make it when other teams park the bus. Morata is 10 times better. As I said, I think Morata's got a more of an all-round game than Lukaku does. But if United's attack around Lukaku can do enough, and we can simply task Lukaku with finishing, just being in there, be in the box and finish those chances. He is a finisher. He's got plenty of goals. More than happy with Lukaku, says Jay, but we still want Morata, says Charlon. I don't think that we will get Morata and Lukaku. As I said, I would be very, very surprised if that was to happen. That is a major outlay on two players, and we still need a centre mid. We've already got a centre back. Probably could do with the winger as well. I still think United will be busy in the transfer window. I just can't see us signing two marquee strikers like that. What the fuck, guys, says Owen Murphy. Sorry, mate, can't pronounce your first name. He say Lukaku is amazing. Now, as I said, I think this is more the fact that everybody has been building themselves up excitement-wise about signing Morata. And that Marca, Spanish newspaper, only last night said that we were hours away from signing him. And now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we're signing Lukaku instead. And as I'll say this one more time, I don't think this is a bad thing. It really can't be a bad thing. For Man United to sign a top draw Premier League proven goal scorer is a positive for the squad. And if Rooney goes in the other direction and Lukaku comes in, we'll have Lukaku up front, Martial up front, Rashford up front. Maybe Morata will still come in, but I really wouldn't get your hopes up about that, guys. 85 goals in the Premier League for Lukaku. He will be excellent for us. A great signing. That's what I've been saying there. Is it sure? When will they announce it? Says Yashwanth. Now, Man United fly out on Sunday. So if this is going to get pushed over the line, we've got, what, 72 hours before that is to happen. So I expect things to move fast. And this Lukaku stuff has moved very, very fast, because it was only last night that the stories came out in the British press that Man United were back in for Lukaku. All of a sudden, 12 hours later, we've agreed a £75 million deal for him. That's very swift. Lukaku, so bloody happy, says Zarif. Well, at least someone's very happy. I think there's a mixed reaction here with Lukaku. And I've made it clear that I do think Morata would have suited us in a more all-round game than Lukaku. But as a predator and a pure finisher, Lukaku has got a hell of a lot of pedigree. And we cannot be upset with bringing that into Man United. And Mourinho, I'm not sure if Mourinho was the manager to sell Lukaku, but he had Lukaku previously and never really took to him. Just the same as Mata was sold. And then he came to Man United, and Mata all of a sudden had a new lease of life under Mourinho. The same thing would clearly happen with Lukaku if he was to join, and it looks like he is. I still wanted Morata, says Moyle. I don't think we're going to be getting both, buddy. I will genuinely be so surprised. There's a couple of comments there asking about Belotti as well. Torino want 100 mil odd for him, and if we're not going to pay Real Madrid 80 million euros for Alvaro Morata, we're certainly not going to pay Torino 100 million euros for Belotti. And that's the situation with that one. What about James Rodriguez? Not sure about James Rodriguez. We'll talk about that if any more news comes out about Rodriguez. But at the moment, that move is considered, I suppose, dead. Lukaku is better than Morata, says Super Wiz. In the Premier League, he certainly is at the moment, but I suppose we'll never know about Morata now, unless maybe Chelsea go after Morata, because Romelu Lukaku was supposed to be on his way to Chelsea. That was what everybody expected. Now, Man United have swooped late, and Man United have now signed Lukaku. Now, I don't know what that means for Chelsea's move for a striker and who they're then going to sign next, but it's certainly not going to be Lukaku. Will Morata and James join too, says Mohammed. That's definitely not going to happen. I really, really doubt that anyway. Sky Sports confirming it, says Dr. Z. Yep, so as I said, Sky Sports, Manchester Evening News, BBC, everybody is confirming this move. So it's not just one unreliable source. We are looking at all the reliable sources in the British press, and Craig Norwood saying it as well. Andreas is good, but doesn't deserve that much, talking about Belotti. Guys, we only got Lukaku as Perez, the greedy dog, wanted 90 million for a bench player. I do agree with that. Had Real Madrid not been playing such hardball negotiations with Man United over Alvaro Morata, he would be at the club now and Lukaku wouldn't be joining. But it's not as if United have just gone for sloppy seconds in Lukaku. They've still got one of the prime strikers who was on our target list at the start of the summer. And everybody knew that Lukaku could have been a possibility this summer. That Lukaku may have been the signing that we are going to make as a new striker. It went a bit quiet, but as soon as the Rooney stuff came out this week, those conversations started again. And now, we've signed him. Not 100% a done deal yet, because it's not been announced by the club, and obviously that's the point when it's a done deal. But when the BBC is saying it, when Sky Sports, when everyone is saying it, it's done. It's just that the announcement hasn't been made yet. Perez is a greedy fuck, says D. You get what you get. Now Real Madrid are left with a player in Alvaro Morata who made it clear he wanted to leave the club and didn't want to be there next season. They need someone else to pay 80 million euros, but their power in those negotiations have gone down the pan. Neville Littlejohn saying Ed Woodward pulling this one out the bag. Maybe this is why the whole negotiations with Morata have been so long and drawn out. Maybe this was always on the cards. Maybe Romelu Lukaku was always the target that Jose Mourinho wanted. Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think we very much wanted Alvaro Morata, but Real Madrid, being greedy, being slow, being tough in negotiations, have pushed this to the point where Man United have had to look elsewhere. And we've gone and signed a player who scored 80 plus Premier League goals, is 23, 25 goals in the Premier League last season. Clearly a top goal scorer, and we need that. We absolutely need that. We still need Morata, says Raj. It's not going to happen, buddy. But let me know in the comments quickly, who would you choose still, Morata or Lukaku? Are you still happy that we're signing Lukaku? And I've always made it clear that Morata was my preferred choice. And I do have question marks about Lukaku's all-round play. I think Lukaku's first touch is slightly off as well. But the guy scores goals. And as I said, if we can have the likes of Mkhitaryan, Pogba, Herrera, Mata, everybody around Lukaku or Rashford up in their game, and our overall attack improving, then Man United are going to get to the point where Lukaku could hopefully just be a pure finisher, concentrating on nothing else apart from goal scoring. Now that hasn't happened at United in a while because all of our players have had to get in and involved. But as a pure number 9, if we can convert our style of play to really gear ourselves towards that pure number 9, then we could get 30 plus goals out of Lukaku next season. Tons of comments coming through here. Lots and lots of you are happy about Lukaku. Some of you aren't the happiest because you wanted it to be Alvaro Morata. It's a strange situation, I suppose, but with Man United, we are going to be linked to lots of players. If we run down the strikers we've been linked to this summer, Morata, Lukaku, Belotti, Aubameyang, Lewandowski, Ronaldo piped up for a little bit, but that went quiet very quickly. United were looking at all these top-level strikers, and they come to a point where all the elite strikers are effectively on the same level. Do I think Lukaku is that much better than Morata? No, I don't. I would have been very happy with either of them. But Morata is not the man for Man United anymore. It's Lukaku. I'm so surprised at that because United have got to the point where we had a 75 million bid rejected for Morata. So we were only 5 million euros away from finding that negotiation, that price point that Real Madrid wanted. But instead, we've now turned our back and gone for 75 million, which is actually more, on Lukaku. So it goes to show that United had the money, we just didn't want to pay it to Real Madrid. Getting quickly, says Isaac. Lukaku is a lazy arse, says Ian Smith. As I said, his all-round game, it's not as clear-cut. It's not as rounded, sorry, as Morata. But the guy's got a lot of growth left in him. 23, phenomenal goal scorer and elect at youth level. I really wanted us to sign him. Obviously, he went to Chelsea, didn't really work out for him there. I had a good loan spell at West Brom, and the guy has definitely come on leaps and bounds at Everton. And Everton, to get 75 million, that's going to pay for a lot of their... Pays for Pickford, pays for Keane, pays for Sandro. They've done well this summer. And Man United have now got a clinical new number 9. There's too many of you guys and girls watching and commenting for me to stop, so I'm going to read through more of your comments here. Morata could still happen, says Brent. I don't know. I don't think so. That's my own opinion. That's not insight. That's just, I don't think the Man United will go out and sign 2 major strikers like that. Given that we've still got Marcus Rashford, we've still got Anthony Martial, who I think is going to be playing through the middle a lot more next season. We'll see what's going there. Morata is 48 hours away. We've heard that quite a lot. And a lot of you have been getting frustrated, and I completely understand the frustrations about how we've been reporting all of the Morata news, but that's not our fault. That's just how the Morata news has been reported. Speculation has been so intense to the point where people are getting bored of watching the transfer news. But this is some transfer news that is happy, that we all want to see. Man United signing a major striker, and it is Romelu Lukaku. Now, make sure you keep leaving your comments below as always. We'll do another video maybe later on if anything else develops on the Lukaku deal. But Lukaku to Man United for 75 million euros, not Alvaro Morata. Nobody expected that. Now, if any of you guys and girls are new and it's the first time you're watching United People's TV, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We're here daily on Facebook, on YouTube as well, with all Manchester United content. It's great to see so many of you watching, and I hope to see you soon. And we'll definitely see Romelu Lukaku in a red shirt soon as well. Take it easy, everybody.